Welcome in this session. I welcome you all and sorry for the technical glitch in the past session. In this session, we will have with us Professor Sudapa Bose, who will talk about different stress relieving techniques and how you can use it in your life, in your classroom, in your daily activities, the stress which is there with the teachers, how you can resolve those issues. So she will start her session in just 5 to 10 minutes. अपने फोन में देखा मैं उनका फोन दिया था किसका फोन मैं उनका फोन मांग लूंगा थोड़ी देर के लिए या मैं अपना लैपटॉप रख दूंगा यू जस्ट वेट फॉर 2 मिनट्स ये है एक्टिविटीज ये सेशन की एक्टिविटी ये तो breathing and all that. What do you understand by address this activity next session? Yeah. बैठिए देखो आप कैसे बैठेंगे It's okay, you can start. I will do it.
Good afternoon. I welcome you to this session. You have been attending sessions regarding various topics of the B.Ed program, and just now you have attended a session pertaining to curriculum, and I'm sure this has put you under a lot of stress. Stress because this is a workshop. The workshop begins at a particular time, it ends at a particular time. You have to be there to attend the session. And then, of course, technological glitches are there. And all these things, and apart from that, there are many other reasons because of which you may be facing stress. You may be under stress. And the session that we shall have now would be based on a course which has one or maybe 2 units on yoga. And hence, when I discuss stress releasing techniques, of course, we would be discussing many techniques that can be useful for releasing stress. But given that the units of this course are about yoga and these activities also pertain to yoga and breathing techniques, hence we shall have we shall place a special emphasis on yoga. Let us begin the discussion. As I said just now, that nowadays life is such that there are many reasons that put us under stress. And there would be very few who would say that there would be many who would say that yes, number of reasons are there because of which we are under stress. And very few would be there who would say, "Ki in our life there is no reason for stress." You can see in this image that while going to the workplace, going to your office or to your school, there is a traffic and people are rushing about. There's a lot of traffic, jams are there in big cities. This is a major reason for stress. And then people are just rushing around. We no longer can we no longer can afford to have days when we can relax or work throughout the day, come back at home in the evening and relax. Days of relaxation seems to be over for us. Whereas if you reflect on how your parents and grandparents had spent their days, you would perhaps agree with me that yes, they seem to be much more relaxed than we people are today. Number of reasons are there because of which we are rushing around. We are running about. We don't know where we are heading to. We know we are going to our office. We know we are going to our schools and colleges. Yet, there is a mad rush in which we are there. And the result is, of course, stress. So, stress is something which is unavoidable today. But at the same time, we need to realize that stress definitely has a very adverse kind of impact on our body, on our mind, and on our general well being. Now, coming to the overview of the session, what are the things that we are going to discuss? Well, Kailash Rajwal says, "Good afternoon, ma'am." Yes, good afternoon. I once again say good afternoon and welcome to all those of you who have joined just now. Anju Devi, good afternoon and welcome to this session. This is going to be a session with very light discussion. We are not going to deal with very heavy kind of topic and heavy kind of discussion. Don't bother too much about the PPT. Don't bother too much about what is there in the PPT. It is really unfortunate that we can't have an interaction the way we should have had one, but nevertheless, you can chat with me and I'll try to take as many questions as possible. In this session, what are the things that we are going to discuss? First of all, we would begin with some of the cases, some real life stories that are related to stress that have happened because of stress. And then very briefly about the concept of stress. As I have said that we will not get into theory. In this session, you must enjoy, you must relax, you must not be under any kind of stress. And this is the reason why we began with some light, fantastic music. And then after that, what are the causes of stress? What puts us under stress? And then finally, so that we learn how to manage stress, there would be some discussion on the consequences of stress. And then if we cannot do away with stress, if there is no way in which we can eliminate stress, at least let us learn how to cope with stress, how to manage stress. Therefore, what we are going to discuss today, we have 5 C's: cases, concept, causes, consequences, and finally, coping with stress. Now, coming to these cases, why we should take stress very seriously. As teachers, if we are under stress, then it is not good for us, nor for our family, nor for our students. If our students are under stress, then that is also a matter of concern. You see, stress often leads to suicide, especially if it is a chronic stress. And these are just some of the news items or items that I have picked up randomly from journal articles. So the first is about a news item. It was published in the print on 19th August 2019 that 443 Delhi students, this is a small city, I would say, in comparison to, or even if you consider it to be a metropolis, just one metropolis, see the number of students who have committed suicide in 5 years. So, what were the reasons? The reasons were mainly exam related stress and failed relationships. Failed relationship is, of course, a reason for stress among adolescents, but sometimes what happens is that even young children, they do not have the kind of relationship with their family members, with their parents today, that would mitigate stress. Unlike our earlier generation, when they would have a very strong bonding with their family members, with their parents, maybe as parents you would agree with me that today the bonding between children and their parents, the children and their family members is quite different from what it used to be earlier. Therefore, when we say failed relationships, of course, it's not just the relationships that adolescents engage in, but there are also reasons of failed relationships. There are also instances of failed relationships between students or children and their family members. And then stress and substance abuse. This is rather related to not just cause but also the consequence of stress. As students are often under stress, they might think of ways to relax themselves. They would like to enjoy the evening at a party with their friends. And in order to relax, they just don't limit to enjoyment with their friends, but they may also indulge in different kinds of substance abuse. Why? Because many of them say that they are under stress, they would like to relax. Hence, they find that substances of various kinds are useful for them for relaxing because they are stressed. This is the cause. And then coming to the consequence is equally important. What happens is that after they become used to relaxing with the help of substances, then they cannot relax without substance abuse. And this is how a cycle of addiction begins. And addiction is the reason, addiction is also the cause. And after that, when there are attempts to get them de addicted with the help of treatment centers, it is found that because of substance, because of stress, they are very likely that they would again go back to substance abuse. Supposing they are back from a rehabilitation center, supposing they are back from a de addiction center, a treatment center, but if the reason for stress is not eliminated, if the reason for stress remains, whether it is within the family, whether it is within the workplace, which may be a school, college, an office, or it is an educational institution, until and unless the reason for stress is eliminated, there are chances that would make these patients who have recovered, who are now healthy, vulnerable to go back to their old habits. So we see that stress and substance abuse are quite related, and there are many articles on this issue. Now, coming to stress and insomnia, you might have also experienced, we have all experienced that when there is some reason for worry, we spend sleepless nights. There is also a common saying that sleepless with worry. It is very often said that because of worry, I couldn't sleep. Chronic stress leads to insomnia, inability to sleep. And this is a report that has been brought out by the Sleep Foundation, or that there is a strong relationship between stress and sleep. Hence, not being able to sleep is also not at all something healthy. Therefore, we see that there are many cases that underline the significance of teachers being aware of the reasons of stress and the ways to manage stress. What is stress? As I said, that all of us at some point of our life, sometimes or other, we must have been under stress. No one would, I don't think there is anyone who would say that I have never experienced any kind of stress in my life. or in the future I'm not going to be stressed. This is very difficult to say. Most of us, sometimes or other, have been under stress. So, what is exactly stress? Stress is something which we may say it is something automatic. It is a natural reaction. It is the way our body reacts when there is an event, a situation, or maybe there is no event or situation, but something within us, maybe a thought that makes us stressful. Therefore, it is a natural reaction of the body to a trigger. What is the trigger? As I said, it could be an event, a situation, a thought that makes us worried. All of a sudden, it makes us worried. Or maybe it is not all of a sudden, it is always there at the back of our mind. And this triggers physical and mental demands. We start thinking in a particular way. Our psychological setup changes. Our mental demands are something different, and our body reacts in a different way. So, how is stress manifested? Stress is manifested as tension of body, of mind, emotion, and also of our muscles. So, as I said, that this could be because of a sudden event or it could be because of a long standing problem. For example, if someone is unwell in the family, for parents, a child who is not well for a very long period of time, or any member of the family, or there is some other reason, maybe you are not getting adequate amount of water, the water supply in your neighborhood is such that you are under stress. So these are some long standing problems, or there could be a sudden event. For instance, all of a sudden you see that there is a snake in the house or there is a big scorpion. That would put us under stress. Or for that matter, you see that someone armed with a stick is rushing towards you. So this is not a long standing problem but a sudden event which puts us under stress. This is how stress is triggered. Now coming to the next question. So far from the discussions, you might have been feeling that stress is something harmful. Yes, it is. Undeniably, stress is something harmful. But at the same time, I would like to ask you, is stress necessarily harmful? Is stress always harmful? Just think about it. Take a few seconds. I shall not speak. Think about it. Well, what are your thoughts? You may chat with me so that I come to know that what you have been thinking. No, stress is not necessarily harmful. Stress is sometimes harmful and sometimes it is not. Eustress is a positive kind of stress. For example, before an examination, before your B.Ed examination, you have stress. You need to do well in your B.Ed examination, and that puts you under stress. If you are not stressed at all, you or maybe some of you may not be preparing well for your examination. And similarly, going to the school on time, reaching your school on time, taking classes on time, managing students the way they have to be managed, then taking their examination, teaching them, all these things are activities that would put you under some kind of stress. But this is a positive stress. This is a kind of stress that elicits the right kind of responses from a human being. And this is known as, yes, Chavan says that positive stress is needed. Yes, stress is something useful, good. These are good responses, Arvind says. And then Manohar Singh says that a little bit of stress is good, but too much is harmful. Excellent. Yes. So these are where the responses. Shafiq, what does Shafiq say? Okay, I missed it. So these are some of the responses that show that you are aware of positive kind of stress. And well, Abdul Latif says very low sound. I'm trying my best so that I can speak a little louder. Someone else has also complained that the sound is little less. Yes, this is very good response. Stress is a driving force. Stress makes us something. Stress makes us more responsible. Okay, now this was about eustress, the positive kind of stress. Now coming to the harmful kind of stress, this is known as distress. This is the kind of stress that we are discussing in this session. For positive stress, you do not need any remedy. Positive stress is something that is required. Should I continue? Okay. So there, some of them are complaining that the sound is volume. हाँ वही मैंने हिम्मत नहीं कर इसको ये करने की. Skip कर ले.
Just wait for 2 minutes. Let us set it.
This should be enough. Well, Gaurav has done the necessary adjustments. Thank you, Gaurav. And I'm sure you would be able to hear now. Okay, so just as I said that distress is the topic of our discussion today because for eustress, we do not need any kind of remedy. Rather, it is something which is good for us. Now coming to the next question. Is stress short-lived or does it persist? As I have said that it is triggered by a sudden event, or if it is not triggered by a sudden event, then maybe it may be the accumulated result of something that has been going on in our life. Sometimes you see stress becomes a part of our life. We say that ki zindagi ka hissa ban gaya. And worry, anxiety, these things often become a part of our life. It is always there at the back of our mind. Hence, stress could be short lived. For example, as I said, that when you see all of a sudden we see that there is a snake or there is a scorpion in the house, once that problem is over, then the reason for stress is gone and we are also relaxed. But there could be some problems like someone not being well or financial problems, medical problems, financial problems, and then problems in relationships. These are some of the reasons because of which stress is not short lived. But stress is something which, yes, thank you for saying that. Now the sound is very clear. Yes. So stress may persist. 1 minute. We are sorry for the technological glitches, but yes. Now coming to the next question. What are the causes of stress? Personal, as I said, health, financial problems could be there, conflicts. Conflicts are a big reason for stress. You see that even in your family, supposing you have had an argument, maybe with your children, with other family members, with your spouse or with anyone in the family, or if you have conflicts at school, if you have an argument, you will find that you are under stress. Conflicts are a big, very big reason for stress. And then coming to time management, time issues are also very important because you see meeting the deadline today has become very difficult. We are engaged with so many activities that meeting the deadlines, we have to reach the school on time, we have to do our household chores on time, and these things put a lot of stress on us. And then separation, a death in the family, or for some reason if a family member leaves and goes away to a far off place, then that kind of separation, you would always be worried about the person who has left, about the well-being of the person, even though you can connect through technology. Nevertheless, separation is also a reason for stress. And then the natural reasons are also there, natural disasters. For example, just imagine a situation when there was a great flood or there was a volcanic eruption or there is an earthquake. So those who have suffered it and the aftermath, what happened to the people immediately after the natural disaster, that is very stressful. And supposing you live at a place, for example, Indonesia or Philippines, where you know that there is a volcano, there is an active volcano, which would be spewing fumes at any on any day, and on that day people might be losing everything and they would be rushing out of their houses, they would be rushing out of their villages. And so there is always a reason for stress at the back of the mind because of some natural cause. The volcano may become active all of a sudden, and the social reasons are also there. Today, unrest, strife, wars, social conflicts, these things are very common. I would not say that there were no wars in the past. Yes, there were wars in the past, but those wars were fought by nations. But today, if you see that even in your community, within your neighborhood, there might be some conflicts. There might be reasons for unrest, strife, and these are not happy things. These things do not make us stress free, but rather these things add to our stress. Now, coming to the next part of the discussion, which is, you know very well that even our parents and grandparents had some reasons for being under stress. You ask them that, were you stressed at some point of life? I'm sure that most of them would say that yes, we too had reasons for stress. But along with those reasons, along with most of those reasons, new reasons have cropped up today. Today we have rising aspirations. We are no longer content with whatever we have. Unlike our parents and grandparents, we now want the best. Best for ourselves, we want the best for our children, and we want to secure the future of our children. And these, I don't say that aspirations in themselves are something bad. We should aspire, we should have aspirations, but we should also be careful that aspirations do not start controlling our well being. Aspirations do not start controlling our life, our lifestyle. And then there is a rising competition, whether it is for a seat in a college, whether it is for a job, or even for a bed in a hospital. During the time of pandemic, we would agree that even for getting a bed in a hospital for a sick person, there is competition. If you want to board a bus, if you want to board the metro, if you want to apply for a seat in a college, even though you have the money for boarding the bus, you have the metro ticket with you, you have good scores, nevertheless, you are not sure of getting a seat. So, this is the situation today. There is rising competition, and this puts us under stress. This undeniably puts us under stress. And then the modern lifestyle. Earlier, you see, there used to be joint families. Even though working women were lesser in number, but for working women who were working maybe in the fields or in offices, there were few who were working in the offices. When they went to the office or when they went to the workplace, they knew that there was someone to look after their kids who were there at home. But it is no longer the case for working women today. Women go to work worrying about their home, worrying about their household chores, worrying about their children. So, this is the impact of nuclear families. When someone is hospitalized, we don't have the support. We have to do everything, managing the sickness, managing home, managing children, managing everything on our own. Therefore, all the responsibilities are on us. This is the impact of nuclear families. I would not say that nuclear families are good or bad. I'm not going into value judgment. I'm just saying that when something triggers a reason for worry, nuclear families, those who are in nuclear families, they are under a lot of stress. And then weakening relationships within the communities. Earlier, even within a village, everyone would be known to each other. Whose daughter is getting married to whom, whose son has got a job, whose son is good, whose son is not so good. These were the points for discussion, for gossip. Undoubtedly, I agree. But at the same time, people would rush to their neighbor's house if there was any reason for distress. But today we don't even know our neighbors. Those of us who are staying in our apartments. Yes, Durga Singh says that coronavirus creates mental stress. Yes, it is a reason for stress. I agree with you. So weakening relationship with our neighbors. We don't know our neighbors. So when someone gets quarantined because of coronavirus, we don't know how they are, what their needs are, whether they need something because they can't go out. We don't know them and they don't know us. So this is a reason for stress. And then growing intolerance in relations. Just think about your relation with your parents. I don't think you were ever in a position to argue or to misbehave with your parents or with your teachers or anyone who was considered to be an elderly person. That is no longer the case today. Teachers are no longer safe from children's losing their tempers. And this is also the case within families. And someone has parked a car in a wrong way in your neighborhood. Immediately people lose temper. Because of rash driving, someone has brushed against someone's car. There is a road rage. Road rage is the consequence of stress, and road rage is also the cause of stress. When someone is in a road rage, when someone exhibits road rage, the person on whom he or she inflicts it, that person also goes back home with stress. And then coping with technological evolution. Earlier, drawing money from the bank or writing letters to those who were far away or doing daily activities was done in a particular kind of way. But now everything is digitalized. And because of which, especially those who are older, they find it very difficult connecting with people using a smartphone, connecting with the internet itself, and then getting across to people, getting across to services using advanced technologies, which is changing every day, which is changing very frequently. That is the reason for stress. I would share my personal experience. My father is stressed because he can't, or rather, he doesn't want to use a smartphone. And this is the reason why he can't connect with me, and he is stressed because of that. Therefore, technological evolution is a reason for stress. Traveling to workplace. This many people are there staying at metropolises. How to reach the office on time, how to come back home at time. These things are stressful. And then complexities at workplace. If you are a teacher, earlier teachers would go, they would teach, and then they would come back home. They would also assess. But now a teacher is expected to carry out different types of roles using different types of technologies. Online learning karana hai. You need to engage in online learning. Online assessment is essential. You need to do the management related work in an online way. Hence, what we find is that complexities at the workplace, these are growing. This is a reason for stress. And because of all these things, we hardly find any time for relaxation. Relaxation, chatting with your friends, socializing, watching television, reading newspaper, doing things that you really love doing. Where is the time for that? The time for that is now those who can afford time for that, that is a luxury. Yes, 2G network is also a reason for stress. I agree. Agreed. Okay, unable to drive. That is a reason for stress. Makbulji says. And then what happens is that, as I have shown in my first slide, that we are rushing. There is a mad rush. We are all running, and therefore we have hardly any time to relax. And we also seek perfection. I don't say that we shouldn't seek for perfection, but if we want everything to be perfect, my education should be perfect. I should have higher education with a first class. I should have a first class job. I should have a first class house. It doesn't end there. My children should have first class nursery school education. My children should have first class high school education. My children should be in the best college. They should have the best jobs. They should have the best tuitions. They should have everything that is the best. And when we seek perfection to this extent, Leo Tolstoy had said this: the great Russian novelist. He had warned, he had cautioned, you will never be content. Discontentment and distress are closely, intricately related. Therefore, I say that stress is not something new, but at the same time, there are new reasons. Now, coming to the next slide, that what are the symptoms? You see, stress, as Hans Selye has said, that Hans Selye has done a lot of work regarding stress, but I had promised you I'm not going to get into a lot of theory because you are into a lot of theory during all these sessions right from 31st, and this is going to continue. Therefore, at least in this session, let us have nothing but storytelling, of course, based on facts, but a little bit of theory. Fight or flight response. Fight means putting up a fight. For example, coming back to our earlier example of road rage, there is a road rage. So either I counter that person, I fight it out, or there is a snake in my house, I need to fight it out, or flight. If I can't fight it out, then I have to rush away from that place. There is a local train, for example, in Mumbai or in Kolkata, and I need to board it. You know that, of course, not during this pandemic time when the rush is not as it used to be earlier. Getting into a local train, forget about getting a seat, just getting into, just putting your foot on into a train, that was in itself a great reason for stress. So on the platform, the huge crowd, when they would see a train coming, there would instantly be an adrenaline rush. That is a response to fight. Of course, on coming because the train is approaching, they would not like to take a flight from the railway platform, but there is a big fight to get into the train. And pupils dilate. Why do pupils dilate? So that your visual perception is enhanced, you can see better. And because you're working hard, your heart is working hard, there would be sweating. And insomnia, as I said, if it is a chronic stress, you lose sleep over it. What is the impact on different systems of our body? Stress hormone would affect the respiratory and cardiovascular systems. We need to breathe faster so that we can quicken oxygen supply in the blood. And what happens is that those who are already suffering from some breathing problem, for example, asthma, for them this breathing problem would be aggravated. And why does heart pump faster? Because your muscles need more oxygen so that you are in a better position to fight or to take flight. And hence, if you cannot manage stress, remember that this is not at all good for your respiratory and cardiovascular system. There are other systems of our body which are also negatively impacted by stress, like digestive system. The liver produces more glucose, blood sugar, which is required for giving you, for supplying your body with more energy, for so that you are in a position to fight it out or take flight. And chronic stress therefore increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Acid reflux is there. People suffering from acidity, doctors often ask them, are you under stress? Is there something that stresses you? And continuous acid reflux may cause stomach ulcers, diarrhea, constipation. These are also some of the bodily reactions. These are symptoms. These are reactions to the main cause. What is it? Stress. And then since our muscles tense up and is not relaxed till we do not relax, we may have muscle ache. And then the immune system is also there. So stress stimulates the immune system, but over a period of time it weakens it, and hence allergies, and there are many other kinds of diseases which are the results of our immune system not functioning well because of stress. Now I ask you to carry out an exercise. Again, a few seconds, take a few moments. I'll not speak. Identify the stress causing factors you must have seen in this slide. Is it your school? Then which aspect of the school that puts you under so much stress? Is it at home? The same question. Is it because of your relations, maybe with your neighbor? You don't get along with your neighbor or someone in the community or someone at maybe your relative or someone else? If yes, who is that person? Is it because of some monetary problem? Is it because you have to travel to your office? Is it because you don't have time? Well, money is something which is related to finance. It should have been included there. And then, is it because of health reasons? Or is there something else that bothers you? Maybe there is something else which I have not listed, but there is something about which you know and that bothers you. It is for you to identify the factor or the factors that cause stress. And how to do that? When do you feel stressed or are you always stressed? You see, please take these things very seriously. This is because of what I have shown in my earlier slides. Even if you do not realize it, it does have some serious impact on your body and on your mind. So try to identify the factors that cause stress. Write those factors down. When do you feel stressed? During an argument? Maybe when your children are misbehaving with you? When your students are not behaving well? When you do not have cordial relation at school or with your neighbor? When do you feel stressed? Or is it because of money? Do the factors mentioned in the previous slides apply to you? Or are there more or different factors? If yes, just list them. Reflect on those factors. Can you eliminate those factors? You may ask me in turn, madam, there is a neighbor with whom I don't get along. Every day because of that neighbor, I am under stress. How do I eliminate my neighbor? How do I get rid of my neighbor? You can't. Or maybe your boss. You can't get rid of your boss. Or even your own children, whether they are your students or your family members, you can't get rid of them. If there is a financial problem which has been going on for a very long time, there is no magic wand. आज चाहा कल problem छू मंतर हो गया. No, that doesn't happen. Can you accept such problems? You don't want to accept such problems. Just think of those with worse kind of problems. You may say that, well, this is no consolation. But if you look around you, you will find that you are more fortunate, you are more blessed than many who envy you. There are many who would like to change places with you. But if there are problems which we cannot eliminate from our life, and then we can list and try out certain measures. Let us see which measures these are. One minute. So meanwhile, while I try to change yes. So this is the question that are we devoting time to activities? 1 second. If it is related to time, as I said that not getting time for relaxation, that is a big reason for stress. So are we devoting time to activities that are not really important? When you list things, when you prioritize things, just look at things that are not really important for you. So are you wasting time over it? Are we planning our time and making schedules? Or are we procrastinating activities? You see, if you think that, okay, this I will do in the evening, that I will do in the evening, this one also I'll do in the evening, that one also I'll do in the evening. When evening comes, evening is sure to come. You can't avoid the evening. The activities would be there. And along with the piled up activities, stress would also pile up. Therefore, is it because we are procrastinating activities? We need to go by a schedule. And we also, while scheduling, we also need to have the determination, the resolve to abide by the schedule. What would be the result? Think of it. Another situation, you develop a schedule. There are many people who would develop many schedules, many timetables, but then they don't have the resolve to follow it. What would happen then? Hence, we may try out prioritizing, scheduling, having a resolve. Is there anything else that you would like to do? Just think of it. Now coming to the next, managing conflict. As I said, conflicts take a toll on our body. Don't think that after an argument, even if you have won the argument, you have lost some amount of peace of mind. I would not say that you should not engage in an argument. Arguments may be inevitable, but even when you have won a battle, you have lost a peace, you have lost your peace of mind. Therefore, just ask yourself, is this ongoing conflict, especially if this ongoing conflict, is it helping me or hurting me? What can I do? Should I deepen the conflict or should I try to resolve? Is it just my ego or is there a real cause? Sometimes, there is no real cause. But it is just because of our ego that we keep on arguing. It is because of our ego that we keep on battling. And these things are more common than battles with that have real cause. Unfortunately, it is because of our ego that we engage in conflicts. So what would I have done if I were in his place or her place? Can I listen a little and let others speak? Or should I do the speaking? Can I try to understand his or her perspectives? 1 minute. Can I understand his or her perspectives? Well, the technology is really troublesome today. So these are some of the ways in which you can manage stress. So resolving conflict is very important, and we have covered a few points. The rest you will get in the slide, and there are some activities. Yes. So do I expect others to behave the way I want? It is not possible. If you want others to behave in the way that you want, this was possible with your parents and grandparents when they expected a certain kind of behavior from us and we behaved in that way. Today children are not going to behave in that way. People are not going to behave in that. And then do I have better things to do than to brood over what my opponent has done and try to make plans to harm him or her? Or is there something that I can do so that the conflict is avoided? And remember, when you are angry, count till 10 before speaking. That is very important. Now coming to some of the activities for managing stress, read. Get into the habit of reading. Storybooks, fictions, non-fictions, your B.Ed material, whatever it is. If you are deep into reading, you will find that your mind relaxes. Play. Whether it is an outdoor game, an indoor game like chess or whatever it is. It may be as simple a game as Ludo. But even then playing is important. Exercise. This is very important. Going for a walk, singing, dancing, and I would vouch for it that there is no age at which we should stop singing and dancing. No one is old enough for that. At every age, we are young enough to sing and dance. You can have a hobby, you can have a pet, you can share your problems, but be careful. Don't share it with someone whom you don't trust fully. Go for counseling if required. Pray if you are a believer. If you are a non-believer, that's okay. Is there anything else that you could do? Well, since this is a discussion that pertains to a course with units on yoga, therefore we have included this section. Yoga is beneficial for relieving stress, and there are quite a few studies which underline the results of yoga for relieving stress. And if you practice yoga at least during the time period when you are doing yoga and immediately after it, you will definitely find that it is a good technique for releasing stress. And you don't have to spend much for it except buying a yoga mat. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to buy exercising equipment. Nothing. You don't need to spend money on it. And this leads to physical and mental relaxation. And it also has no religious connotation. It just comprises techniques which would help you to calm your mind and ensure physical well-being. First of all, there are breathing exercises. Breathing techniques are deep breathing. Most of us, if you have watched how you breathe, if you have checked how you breathe, you will find that most of the times we engage in shallow breathing. Deep breathing. Sit comfortably. Observe how you are breathing. Do not try to control your breathing. Breathe the way that you breathe. Do not even try to control your thoughts. Even if you get some thoughts, undesirable thoughts that are rushing into your mind, just get along with it. Then focus on breathing. Now try to control breathing. How? Inhale and exhale deeply. Inhale, counting maybe 1 to 3, then 1 to 5, and then exhale, counting 1 to 5. You may even practice now. Just do it 2 times and then let me know whether it helps or not. Just deeply inhaling, deeply breathing out. Breathing in for a long duration, breathing out for a long duration. And with regular practice, you can surely increase the duration. Now, these are some of the breathing techniques that have been mentioned in your course material. And these are like Kapalbhati, Pranayam, Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom is just breathing in with one nostril and breathing out with other nostril, keeping one nostril pressed with your thumb. And there are other kinds of pranayam as well, how to do this. So this is, I have therefore included this link. This is known as the Common Yoga Protocol. This has been developed by the Ministry of Ayush. It is available at this particular website. Even if you don't want to get into such complex type of breathing techniques, you can at least try what I have suggested. Inhaling for a long duration, exhaling for a long duration, and this is only if you want to. And then there are certain yogasans for stress relief. I have taken it from the Ministry of Ayush. These are three, they have listed 3 kinds of asanas. These are Sasakasan, Makarasan, and Bhujangasan. And these are beneficial for relieving stress. You may try it out. It is my advice that please try it out. And then if you feel that it helps you, you can surely practice it. Now, with this, I would like to say that you can try out all these things, and there is a video which is there at the YouTube. So just get into it, take a look at the video, watch it. It is also there at the Ministry of Ayush website. So with that, I thank you very much, and I'm sure that you are going to practice all these things. वीडियो अगर दिखा सकते हो तो दिखा दो थोड़ा सा बस. हाँ बहुत प्रॉब्लम कर रहा था ये एक स्लाइड से दूसरी स्लाइड जाने में दिक्कत आ रही थी.
System but held. आपका सिस्टम तो कुछ भी नहीं है ऐसा. बंद कैसे?
वो बाद में देख लूंगे स्किप करके किसी.
No, actually I need to switch off the video.
तुम यहाँ बैठो, बैठ के आराम से करो.
No, just wait because this video hang one नहीं होगा. No, nothing.